and welcome to episode 2 of Our World. Today, I want to be talking about the top 5 sociological or social issues currently. Number 1 is obesity. So, what really is obesity? Well, people most likely think obesity is overweight, but they're not really the same thing. Overweight is a BMI greater than or equal to 25. And you're probably wondering, what is your BMI? Your BMI is body mass index. So, your body mass index or your BMI is the body mass divided by the square of the body height and expressed in units kilograms per meters squared, resulting from mass in kilograms and height in meters. So, then what is obesity? Obesity is the BMI greater than or equal to 30. So, obesity and overweight are defined as too much fat or excess fat in the human body or on the human body. And if there's too much fat on the human body, it can slow down your heart, it could risk you dying early, it could cause a lot of problems for the human. Number 2 on the top 5 social issues is smoking. Well, most common smoking is tobacco smoking, like any other smoking, like not like smoking joint or smoking any other drugs or something. Most common is tobacco, which is technically is a drug. But what people do while they're smoking, they don't really realize is that when you're smoking, you're producing carbon monoxide, which can result in carbon monoxide poisoning. And there's horrific things that can happen to you, like hairy tongue, for example. Hairy tongue is when your tongue starts looking like it has hairs on it, but it's actually not hairs. It's just real dark, like soot on your tongue, like the soot from a fire. That's the dark stuff, like ashes. But that's all on top of your coating, the surface of your tongue. What else could happen to you when you're smoking? Well, when you start smoking, your lungs start to die. Is the least I can put it. Like when you start smoking, your tiny air sacs or alveoli don't really allow oxygen to do that oxygen exchange, change it from carbon monoxide to oxygen that you breathe in and out. So if you keep smoking, these alveoli or air sacs start to die out. You won't be breathing properly. You having a voice like Darth Vader. Maybe, I don't know. I've never smoked. These little things that you may think are harmless are very harmful. And people know that they're harmful sometimes, but they still smoke it. This smoking could also be from peer pressure. Our peer pressure, teenager peer pressure. Anybody can have peer pressure. There's so many different types of peer pressure. Like, for example, peer pressure can come in different forms. For example, there is spoken peer pressure, unspoken, direct, indirect, negative, and positive. Well, the first five are all negative, really. Positive peer pressure, that's you could encourage someone to do something good, but when you're spoken peer pressure is when someone's like, oh, this guy can't do this and this and that. That's unspoken, really, but spoken is trying to engage them into a silly act or behavior. And same goes with indirect, oh, this guy can't do this and that and stuff like that, and that leads into peer pressure. Number three on the list of the top five social problems is youth alcohol usage. To be honest, why? Just why do youths have to be going this far? Again, it's mostly peer pressure that causes the alcohol usage to be so high for the youths. They go out, fake ID maybe someone like in their 16 who's probably starting driving when he's 17 gets a fake ID or something to get himself a bottle of whiskey or something, maybe just a Heineken bottle, a small one. But those little things can like damage your body like greatly. Like drugs, alcohol, all peer pressure. Like really, they start to experiment. Like, what's it like? Like they want to like feel like they're growing up sometimes, and probably most of them don't even like do that. But like some people do. Some people think like it's. Some people feel, I should say, like self medication or escape. Like there's so many bad things going on in my life, so let me just drink out my problems instead, rather than asking someone for help, which can be hard for youths to like ask for help and stuff. Another thing, what happens to a teenager when they are drinking? So, number one, of course, you will get drunk. You will definitely get drunk. Once a youth, not only once a youth, when when a youth starts drinking alcohol, there's like a disruption of normal growth. There's physical and sexual violence, increased risk of suicide, homicide, alcohol related motor vehicle crashes, and other unintentional injuries such as burns, falls, or drowning can all happen from underage drinking, from youth drinking, and any of drinking. Another social problem is transportation. Transportation is getting better, at the same time not getting better, because we still have petrol cars. Like not everybody can get electric cars. Electric cars are expensive, but as we progress through the years, it'll be more electric cars and petrol cars, obviously, and that's the plan of course, like to save the earth and stuff. But like some countries don't have like the funds for cars, so they use trains. But when nobody has cars, they have to go and use the train. And when like, let's just say for example, cause like let's see India for argument's sake, you can always see the pictures of, you can search it up on Google or something like that, overcrowded Indian train or something like that. Like I'm not being stereotypical here or anything, but mostly the pictures I see are from India. But even though it's happening in other countries as well, probably, and we don't even know, but India probably just has a high rate. That's where they recognize it more. And like once there's overcrowding in the trains and everything, nobody can get there on time. And sometimes it may be fast, you don't know. And number five is poverty. Poverty. Yes, poverty. Literally. There is so many people out there not having anything. Like the lack of resources of necessary basic like revival. Not like revival, like survival, really. We need water, we need food to survive. That's poverty in society. Poverty in society can also be you don't have enough money to buy these things. I think that wraps it up for this today's episode. And I'd like you to subscribe, share, and like this video. And please enjoy. Can't wait to see you for episode 3.